Hello, everybody. What did you yell before we started? No, I think you probably can't repeat it. Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of Delve Requisite here on Proficiency Bonus. So let's. I don't want to take too much time here because the five of these fools are literally ready to like throttle me if we don't get to the action. As quickly as possible. So just a couple of very quick housekeeping notes. I want to thank our sponsors before we do anything else. Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. You can type !Little Dragon or !CCG. No. Yes? I have such a complex about the Cardboard Castle. CCG. I was right. CCG to get a link to either of those websites. Little Dragon Corp is a dice company, and here, see if they're invisible this week. Sort of. Here are my Little Dragon Corp dice. Purveyors of fine click-clack rocks. You can use our code PROBONUS, PROBONUS, at checkout. Oh, everybody's got Little Dragon dice. You can use our code PROBONUS at checkout for 10% off of your order. Cardboard Castle Games, a brick and mortar tabletop gaming store located here in the United States in Evans, Georgia. But if you are not in Evans, Georgia, worry not. You can order online and through the power of the internet and presumably the U.S. Postal Service, they'll get stuff to you and you can have it. So those are our sponsors. Thank you to both of them, and let's dive into the action. Actually, let me do this just real quick at the beginning of our show here, and it is 7:27 instead of 7 o'clock. And rather than just like roll forward, we'll do a little public service announcement. Public service announcement from Delve Requisite to you in your homes. The reason we're running a little behind tonight is because before we started session, we did something that I, as a dungeon master, very much encourage you at home to do with your home groups. We had a little powwow, a little group powwow. We all checked in with each other, talked about how we're feeling about the campaign, how we're feeling about the session, making sure everybody's feeling good, everybody's feeling comfortable, we're enjoying ourselves, that type of thing. And I got some excellent feedback and a lot of compliments from my players. I gave them some feedback and some compliments in return. And we all just made sure that we're buds and we love each other and we're here to have fun and be friends and tell cool stories before anything else. And that's why we're running a little bit late tonight, because that was important, I felt, to do, as I do periodically with all of my groups that I DM, and I encourage you at home to do it too. So, now let's get into things. We rejoin crew of the Grimm's Folly in the Ignean Empire city of Umyath-Durai. Specifically, inside the walls of a rather ominous by reputation institute for arcane and medical research and treatment here in the city. An institute by the name of Serengras. Party member Nymue, a Kalashtar, a lunar warrior from the island of Naporian, a nation hosting individuals with a very specific connection to the living spirits of the planet of Azuria, has been through some twists and turns of coincidence and plans going sideways and skullduggery on the parts of some now deceased slavers. Nymue has been separated from the group and brought to Serengras, to the clutches of an individual who we have learned is named Arcanist Thyxes. Arcanist Thyxes is apparently the individual to whom lunar warriors are being brought and sold through this sort of supply chain is a terrible terrible phrase to use for the capturing and selling of people.
Trafficking ring.
Trafficking ring. But the party following the lead that started with a letter indicating that would-be slavers and such acquire certain individuals and bring them to a specific merchant here in this city. It seems that the stop after that merchant is in fact this arcanist Thyxes, who we through Nymue's point of view have learned is something of an apprentice or a servant or something of that nature to the individual the party has been kind of pursuing that goes by the name Pendragon. So the party held up by the skullduggery of the slave merchant who they sort of like were attempting to kind of pull a con on by like quote unquote selling Nymue to him. He apparently got suspicious, poked around the harbor master and acquired the fake information about their vessel, the Seaquill, that they had given, and used that to kind of lead a group of hired thugs to the party's vessel, where they had some of their crew waiting aboard. So most of the party had to go deal with that, and while they did that, Nymue was moved and taken to Sarengrass. In the time it has taken the party to follow her trail and get to this place and break in, Nymue has been sort of interrogated. Or rather, I suppose it was less of an interrogation and more of a conversation under duress. She sort of twisted things to a kind of a question for question style game with this arcanist Thyxes, who seemed to be more than willing to kind of talk to her if it meant that she would be more cooperative in giving him the information that he was looking for. Though he has begun doing some sort of experiment on her to apparently test her fortitude. So Nymue has been injected with something. The party broke into Sarengrass. They got onto the grounds by climbing through a storm drain, made their way into the entrance hall under a sort of slapped together ruse, which lasted just long enough for them to close into range to eliminate the two like watchmen at the main, like inside the main reception area. They took captive a sort of like another doctor / arcanist that like happened to be in her office when they rolled in, long enough to get information from her on which way Thyxes' like domain was, before knocking her out and just sort of like dumping her in the hallway and racing to the sublevel of this this structure, where they promptly like sprinted into a main kind of chamber where they have found the following. And let's close this and bring us over to our situation here. Nymue is wearing like a set of like hospital scrubs, essentially, like plain white tunic, plain white pants, and is being held down by these like heavy leather restraints to this large table. A table on the opposite side from the party is standing an individual who is wearing these sort of like dark robes and has very long, very straight, very sleek, pure white hair and like alabaster skin with these like pure pupil iris sclera, all just pure solid white eyes, long elven ears. He is a a dark elf, a drow, Arcanist Thyxes. Also in the room with Thyxes are these creatures. These creatures that are vaguely humanoid, but they are bound from head to toe in these, like, tight, sort of like straight jacket, cloth, and leather, and chain and strap bound, like, it almost looks like, you know, those, like, mummy sleeping bags? It's like that, where it's, like, completely entombed their body up to their head, and on their head, they have, it seems that, like, basically the front portion of their, like, head and skull has been, like, partially surgically removed, and this large, like, magenta-colored gemstone has been, like, set into their heads. And there are these tubes coming from, like, their heads and the back of their neck and their like, shoulders and backs that all run into these, like, canisters that have these, like, similar magenta crystals with this, like, magenta fluid pumping through them. And they are floating several, like, 6 inches off the ground, like, hovering. So we will kick things off where we left off last week. Switch our music here. The group of you come, like, rushing into this room, right? Like, you bust through the door, you come charging in, you see this scene. Scylla is an enormous wolf right now. The rest of you come, like, running in with her. And you see Nymue on the table. You see Thyxes standing behind her. He has like a long syringe in his hand that he, like, places down on the table next to him. As you guys come in, you see these things don't really seem to, like, pay you any mind. These, like, abominations that are just sort of, like, in the room. They're just kind of hovering there, like, almost inert at this point. And I think the last thing that that Thyxes said as you guys, like, ran into the room is he sort of looked up, scanned over the group of you, and said, "Ah, I don't know who any of you are, or what you think you're doing coming into my private laboratory, but it has been a while since I had fresh specimens. I suppose you'll do nicely." What are you guys doing?
So you guys
really don't like the way you just said specimens.
He like
now, buddy.
I don't like it. I want to run at him and tackle him.
he
Yeah,
like
I wanna
looks
just-
to Nymue and he looks back and he says, "Ah, how touching. A rescue party, is it?" And
Out of character, did he inject me already?
yes.
Is anything happening?
So you if you remember, like, he injected you with something, and it was like you had this experience as if like fire was going through your veins,
Yep. Okay.
and you can
I remember
feel
now.
you can feel your spirit, the spirit inside of you that's, like, linked to your soul
Yeah, it's-
is, like, in this agitated state right now.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yes. When we get into things, there's some effects that's gonna have, but we'll get into those as we go. Because right now you are strapped to a table.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
I listen. I don't have a mouth that can make words. Okay, I do one thing. Are we doing? Can I do something?
Please do.
What's the thing that you want to do?
I want to run. And I want to jump over the Nymue table and land on him.
So that's, yeah, you absolutely can. It does mean, like, he's ready for you, right? Like, it's not a surprise round situation. Like, you guys don't need to talk to him if you don't want to talk to him. Like, he just seems to be like, he's not gonna make the first move. He's waiting to see what you guys are doing. But if that move is like to try to go and murder him? Like, absolutely, let's do this. Let's roll some initiative.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking
Hell
to
yeah.
anybody.
Hell
but
yeah, let's roll
if
those
everyone else
initiatives.
is trying to talk to
murder
him.
him.
Oh,
Well, let's
Thyxes.
use my Kalashtar dice since I'm activated.
Hey, I gotta stay with it. I gotta keep it rolling, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I lied. It's not as good as I thought it was. You betrayed me.
Ooh.
It would be incredible out of character for Thyxes to roll high.
And yet, in big moments, it will happen, and I can't wait.
I feel
Alrighty.
like the reason he rolls low is because his pants just make it impossible for him to move.
That's what it is. That's it.
Alright, what do you guys got?
20.
20, okay.
19 total. I thought I rolled a natural 19, but I read it wrong.
Okay,
11.
11. Murderbeard.
15.
3.
3, okay.
Big boy.
Big boy. I'll tell you what. Actually, hang on. I do have to double check this. It's just the straight dice.
Oh, echo.
Is it me?
Yeah. Your mic just changed.
Damn it.
Okay, so first to react, as you guys kind of like, he seems to be like curious to see what you all are gonna do, is gonna be Scylla.
Alright, listen, I got 50 feet of movement.
Yes, you do.
And I'm literally... I want to just, like... I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I feel like a direwolf can jump pretty dang far, so I'm literally just... I want to just jump over, and I want to try to tackle him.
I think if you want to go over everything, let's see, you're here 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So I will say, I'll let you... Right, because if you run, you're
Then I
going to
think I
have to
could long
dash
jump,
to
right?
get to him. But, like, I will allow you to do an athletics check to, like, jump the table and land next, like, land in range of him.
Yeah, I want to...
Because there's, there's a table here, but there's, like, a bunch of, like, Erlenmeyer flasks and shit on it. Like, there's stuff, and there's, like, Nymue, right? You don't want to land 600 pounds of direwolf onto Nimue's chest.
And maybe I do. Okay, athletics.
Yep. Not going to be a particularly difficult check. Just a 10.
Well, direwolves are very athletic. That's a 25.
You want to do like a flip as you do this?
No, I want it to be like, I think it's like the Lion King where like Scar like leaps out from like the smoke and it's
Sure.
like, and I'm basically like doing that, and like part of like the direwolf's bite attack is that they can like try to pull creatures to the ground, so like I want to like bite him and try to like knock him to the ground with this.
Okay.
That's a thing I can do.
Yeah. All right. So you like charge, like wah, leap over the full table. Nimue, from your position, because like your head is like strapped, right? You just see like a blur of like wolf just go over your head. Wolf goes past you.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. Am I rolling to attack?
Yeah, you can make your attack roll.
Okay.
I did tell this guy the game was over, so.
Okay, something bad is gonna happen.
Well, actually,
in,
Nimue,
like,
you don't
20
see that
minutes.
because you have a blindfold on. You actually don't
Oh,
see
that's right.
Something
I just
bad is going to
feel
happen in 20
wind.
minutes.
Well, because like literally, I just rolled like 3 natural 19s in a row with like all with initiative and with the jump, and now with the attack roll is a 24 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Oh God, I'm scared. Oh, oops, I'm dropping dice. Okay, that's 9 piercing damage, and he has to make a DC 13 strength save.
Strength, as one might imagine, not his strong suit. He gets a 7. So he's just
prone.
you just like tackle this dude to the ground.
Yeah.
That was
and I
9 damage, you
snarl.
said?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So Scylla, you come charging across. Nymue, you hear like the padding of like heavy like quadrupedal feet, and then like you probably feel like the sort of wind of like Scylla jumping over you. And Scylla, you slam into Arcanist Thyxes, as he's like bringing up his hand to like cast some kind of defensive spell or something, and you just slam into him and like drive him to the ground as you bite him. You bite down and you feel your teeth like sink into the meat of his like shoulder, right? There is like, it almost feels if Scylla had any context for what like biting like a charged electrical line would be, you feel there's like a thrum of like zzz, like almost like tingles in your mouth as you bite through and bypass like a magical barrier that seems to be like almost like a shell around his person. And you can kind of see there is like a brief sort of flicker of this like purplish, bluish like energy. But you just bite through and you feel like teeth sink into flesh. And he goes like snarls, and it is in fact his turn as he also rolled a 20 on his initiative. But I don't know if this is rules as written, but it's how I've always done it. Bad guys just go second on initiative die. So he on his turn is going to curse the fact that you got to jump on him, because having one of you in his face is bad times for him.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know how to make his guy like lying on the ground, but.
I'll deal with it in a second. He is going to. With like one hand as he's like trying to like keep you from further like sinking in, reaches the other hand down, and you see him like pull something from like a pouch at his waist, and he is going to utter an arcane word, and like make a gesture with his free hand. He like takes his other hand off of your muzzle to like complete the somatic portion of this spell, and I need you, Scylla, to make me a charisma saving throw.
I'm not good at those. I have the same charisma as a dire wolf. Okay, I think Brittney got me these dice, but I don't know where they're from. I'm not 100% sure.
If I got them for you.
A 10? You guys watch as like the form of the direwolf drives the scene to the ground, and then you hear from beneath the level of the table, you hear like a shout, and there is a flash of like light and a sound kind of like a firecracker going off, just like, and Scylla disappears. Scylla, you have been banished. So Scylla, one moment you were like feeling your teeth drive into flesh, and you feel blood like spurt into your muzzle, and then the next, you just your jaws slap shut, and you kind of look around, and you're sort of like four paws, sort of like just floating. You're in this sort of indistinct kind of gray, smoky nether. There's just like nothing around you. You have been.
When you hold like a little puppy over water and it.
Yeah, you just gently. Okay. So that's gonna be Thyxes' turn. He's gonna banish. He banishes Scylla successfully. And he does. He's locked for some reason. He's gonna get up. His movement. And he's gonna take a couple of extra steps back. He kind of backs away from. He trips over some loose tools that he left lying out, and he falls to the ground. He backs up about 10 feet. That is going to be Thyxes' turn, which will bring us now to Nymue. So Nymue, you are restrained. You're blinded. You are also considered poisoned
Oh no! All right.
for the mechanical like stuff that imposes upon you.
Noted.
What are you doing?
There's not much I can do because Nymue is dexterous. She's not strong. There's no way she can athletics her way out of this. So I think she's going to hold an action until she feels.
Tabletop sim just went bye-bye.
Oh no.
What else is?
I know, right?
Let's
So
play
yeah,
the
she's
game
gonna
called
hold-
Is it the internet? Did Steam go down?
I
I
don't know.
seem to have it back up, so hopefully we're okay.
I just got kicked out.
Yeah, I just had
Oh,
to
'cause he was
restart the
hosting.
server.
Let me try and join. I never actually joined it in the first place because I was
Uh,
ordering
okay.
dice.
I got
from
that
Little
fixed.
Dragon.
Anyway,
I'm
what are you
going
doing?
to-
Anything?
Hold an action until I feel like one of my party members like unstrains me.
Okay.
And I will use second wind for the moment.
Okay. Get some health back. Yeah.
Psychic wind.
Yeah.
Second wind.
Oh, second wind. I was like, what's psychic wind? That's cool.
It's better. That's what I like.
Okay, cool. That will bring us to Rowan.
Oh god. Rowan's gonna do the only thing she can do. She's going
Oh,
to.
that's cool.
I need to get back into the game. I am going
Mine's
to just
loading.
run forward,
is
Matt.
this?
If you're in, you can just run me
I can-
kind
I
of
can
towards
do
the
it.
table.
Sure.
But off to the right hand side towards this weird constructy things,
Okay,
but like
so 5,
sticking close to the
10,
table. Yeah.
15, 20, 25, 30 feet gets you. Oh boy. 30 feet
Oh
gets
boy.
you here.
Okay. All right. Okay, and those things reacting since I got closer?
They
to
have
them?
not done anything yet. No.
Okay. And I can't reach Nymue, and I can't reach them, and I can't reach.
Not
Let's see.
without dashing. You can't get any closer than that.
Are these things definitely like? I don't want to say alive because they're skeletons, but they're like definitely like.
They're not necessarily skeletons. Let me like
Yeah, they're the
the models are definitely skeletons, but
Yeah.
like they
they're animated. They are.
yeah, I mean like they appear to be for all intents and purposes alive.
Okay.
Right? Like they're not like you don't get like zombie vibes off of them necessarily,
Okay,
right?
okay,
Like they're not like reanimated corpses. They have been like horribly mutilated by some sort of arcane procedure that has made them into whatever this thing that they are is.
Mhm.
But they're definitely like you can see a little bit like they're breathing, right? Like they're like the
There's
chests
movement, okay.
move, like they're they're
There's
moving a
potential
little
for them
bit.
to be a problem. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to, because I'm not quite sure yet, and I don't want to pull that trigger too early. I'm going to do something that Rowan probably sucks at, but let's see how this goes. And I'm going to pull out the dagger that I have.
Okay.
Because the scene's standing up, right?
He has stood up and backed up about 10 feet,
Back up
yes.
a little bit. So how far is he from me for right now?
He is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30. He's about 40
that's
feet
fine.
from you.
I'm going to try to sink a dagger into him and throw it at him. because
Alrighty.
it's what I've got at the moment. That is... Dude. 14 to hit?
A 14. You throw the dagger at him,
Mhm.
and it hits him. But you
Mhm.
see, similar to like what Scylla experienced, this like kind of like blue purple sparks like flicker off of like the front of his robes, and you see the dagger just sort of like and like
Bounce
spins off to the side.
Okay. Alright, she'll curse under her breath and kind of position herself so that she can see him and keep an eye over here on the constructy things.
Murderbeard, you are up.
Okay. I'm going to. These are 5-foot blocks, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Rowan is roughly where 30 feet is. Right?
Where were you? Where did you start?
I was
Should
here.
put everybody in a square, huh? If you were there, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 gets you here.
Yeah.
There. Oh, yeah, there.
You have 30 feet, right? You would normally have 25, but I think you're faster because you're a rogue.
Yes. This is like a clear sight line to him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you basically
Okay,
shoot
okay.
right over the table.
Okay. Can I get right up to that table and theoretically use that table for half cover?
You would have to take the dash action to
I
move
can
an additional
bonus
10
action
feet.
dash then.
Yeah, you can, if you want a bonus action dash and then crouch behind this, you can take partial cover behind the table there if you like.
Actually, he's not engaged, so it doesn't matter.
He's not engaged currently now.
I was going to say, is sneak attacking technically?
Oh,
a
hang on a
bonus
second.
action? Right.
Oh, no, never mind. Rowan didn't hit him. Proceed.
Does a... $17 hit.
17 will hit, yes.
Okay.
So you fire the crossbow bolt. There's again that flicker of kind of like purplish blue. The crossbow bolt goes through and like sinks into his like call it his thigh since you're firing from that level.
And it's just 7 points of...
7 points of damage. Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah, let's see. Well, that's almost it. Because something else does happen when you shoot him with that crossbow bolt. He, like, staggers down, looks down at his leg, and then, like, makes a secondary, like, like, hiss that doesn't seem to be related to the pain of the crossbow bolt that just, like, nicked him. Because what happens is, with a second...
He gets tetanus and dies.
Yeah, he gets tetanus and dies. No, well, what does happen is that with a second crack, Scylla's direwolf form reappears as he immediately goddamn fails his concentration save. Hold that banishment.
Look at that! I'm magic! I made a direwolf appear!
Impressive, impressive, Captain.
He got an 8 on the Constitution saving throw to maintain the only needed a 10, didn't get there. So Scylla reappears. Thyxes, that is gonna bring us to you.
Okay, for some reason, Tabletop Sim's not letting me back in.
Oh jeez.
So, am I within 30 feet of Rowan?
Let's find out.
It looks like.
5,
I
10,
can't now.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35. You're about 40 feet. If you move up 10 feet, you'll be within. You can just go like boop boop, and you're within 30 feet of her.
I was kind of hoping to get as close to Rowan as possible because I know she
Oh, you
has that
can.
shield and she protected me before.
5, 10,
So,
15, 20, 25. The closest you can get to Rowan is here. You can get within 10 feet of Rowan.
All right, I guess that's what I will do.
Okay.
Trying to stay away from where the baddies are, if possible.
How much movement do you have? Sorry.
30 feet.
Oh, 30 feet. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good.
We're up
You
there.
get right to them.
Begin casting incantations, and I would like to point to Nymue on the table. And I'm going to cast Enlarge on Nymue, hoping to break her binds.
Yeah, you bet you are. Let's see. How do we resolve this?
You resolve it with a giant Nymue.
No, I mean, no, there's no question there is a giant Nymue. I'm trying to figure out how to go about like the bonds. She doubles in size, right?
Doubles in size, weighs 8 times her weight. So probably breaking the table in the process. And she has an additional D4 on all of her attack rolls, and she has
Okay.
advantage on strength checks and advantage on anything strength, I believe.
I think how we're gonna play this is Nymue, you get giant. I'm gonna make a roll real quick. And okay. So here's how we're gonna play this. Nymue, you get giant. Like you feel yourself like begin to grow, and these straps are now like cutting into you because like you hear the creak of like leather and like the metal connections to this like table like stretched to their absolute limit, but they do not break. You're still like held down by these. But like you're big now.
Can I use my held action then, and try and like push past that point?
What was your held action specifically?
It
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Go for it. Go for it. Yeah. I don't think your stated held action was like quite met by this, but whatever. It's cool, right? Like make an athletics check to try and like rip out of this. I'm gonna say make an athletics check with advantage to like.
But I'm poisoned, so does that just make it?
So we'll make it'll be a straight roll.
Okay.
Take
that. Plus, and D4 is only for attacks, right?
Yeah, damage rolls.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I went instead of the D4, I went with advantage to like represent the fact that you large now.
Athletics, yeah.
Yeah.
That's 11.
Yeah.
Minus 1 to 10.
Still just enough.
Okay.
The DC was a 10 because they were strained to their limits. You flex, and you feel the like boom, boom, boom of the metal like buckles and straps of these restraints give way and pop out, and you are released from your pinned down state.
As a free action, can I just sit up? Not stand up, just like sit fully up and take off my blind.
Yeah, that's fine. You just
okay. That's what I do. And held turn.
Excellent. Okay. Anything else, Thyxes?
Thyxes will just smile towards Nymue and say, "So good to see you again."
My hero.
End turn.
Nice.
Oh wait,
Okay.
my hero.
My hero.
Let's see. All right. I need to roll some d6s because guess what? It's these creatures' turns. Okay. These three creatures in unison, like, turn their heads towards, like, the group of you that have come in. They move 5, 10, 15, 20, like this. This one just goes like this. And this one is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay. Thyxes. This creature here. When I say they move, they just glide forward through the air. They don't touch the ground. They like float kind of towards you. Thyxes, this one kind of that like angles its way behind your group. Kind of like moves and it turns this like gem sort of towards you, and you see yourself reflected like in the facets of this like gemstone in its head. You see yourself reflected a bunch of times as it goes and vomits bright luminescent fuchsia goo just in like a projectile stream at you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
You know what? It'll lube up his pants.
Oh.
Michael, you're muted.
Not dex saves. I rolled a 17. Is that good?
17 is good. Let me just double check I gotta quick check
Your
the
pants
the
melt
stats
off.
again. You like it's get out of the way, and this stream of like gunk just like splats across the floor. Some of it begins to like ooze into this grating on the floor. And there is a sound on the floor of like hissing as you see this stuff begins to like scour the very ground that it has touched. Scylla, the same thing happens to you from this one over here, as it goes and just like horks this like line of gunk at you. Dexterity save from you as well.
That's a 10.
10 is not going to do it. Scylla, you are hit with this gunk.
I just came back.
You appear and you look, and there's like a stream of like Nickelodeon gack just coming at you. It hits you. It begins to like burn and bubble and sizzle anywhere it hits you. You take 10 points of acid damage.
Okay.
The third one does something different.
Comes our friend.
Yep.
It dies.
It says, "Hi guys, I'm Larry. I'm here to help." No, it looks kind of like it sort of lines itself up with Rowan, Murderbeard, and Thyxes, right? And that gem set into like its skull glows almost painfully bright, and it rears back its head, and it lets out a shriek that is loud, but the pain is intense on a level that is more than purely auditory. I need the three of you guys, Rowan, Murderbeard, and Thyxes, to make a intelligence saving throw.
Oh. Balls.
Thyxes rolled a 12.
Oh, I'm not as bad as I thought. 16.
16? Okay.
17.
Wait, do I have to roll 2 or is it just the 3
No,
of them?
just the three of them.
Okay.
Thyxes was a 12, you said?
That's right.
And a 16 and a 17?
16 for Murderbeard, 17 for Rowan.
Okay. Murderbeard and Rowan, you guys, like, you feel the urge to, like, put your hands to your head to try and keep your, like, skull from splitting open. But you shake off the effects of this. Thyxes is not so... Yeah, is not so fortuitous. Thyxes, you take 16 points of psychic damage.
Oh no.
And you are stunned.
Oh.
Which means
no.
Nymue immediately returns to normal size, because you lose concentration on your
Lose
spell.
concentration, yep.
Zip! You shrink back down. Thyxes is stunned.
It would be kind of like, Captain, these things have a terrible case of seasickness.
That is the three of their turns, as they kind of like hover in, and they're kind of like making the awful, like, maligned, mutilated noises out of their what is like remaining of their mouths and lips and things. And two of them vomit this like stuff onto two of you, and then this third one unleashes this blast of psychic energy. That is going to bring us to the top of the order. Scylla, that is your turn. You have just been hit by this gunk, and the scene is in front of you currently, trying to he's sort of like pulling a crossbow bolt out of his thigh that Murderbeard shot him with.
Just like to quickly point out, Scythian Nightingale in chat says, I don't know why, but they remind me of toddlers, horrifying upchuck, questionable head decoration, and a mind-breaking scream. And with that, I will be doing what I do.
Oh.
I'm gonna run over. I'm gonna like get around him. I'm gonna come like. Oh, I just threw myself across the.
I mean, you already did that, so it's accurate.
Yeah, I'm going like behind him, and I'm gonna bite him.
Bite him.
I don't trust this dice anymore. Big boy, go. Big boy, no. That's an 8 to hit.
An 8 is not going to do it. No. Your fangs like skitter off of this arcane armor that he's got cast around himself.
And that's all I got. I'm just like foaming at the mouth and like nipping at his heels, but not good enough to hurt him.
Okay. He is gonna go now. He's not loving the fact that Scylla came back as quickly
You don't
as she
care what he
did.
loves.
He is going to...
Can't fail 2 banishment spells in a row, you guys. Like,
no, he's not gonna banish you again. He is going to... as a bonus action, he kind of like looks to you, and he gives you this sort of like imperious like, and he just snaps his fingers, and in a swirl of smoke, disappears, and reappears over here.
How far did he go?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet.
Okay.
Oh, okay, let me learn my rules about... See, that was a bonus action, right?
Yep. Misty Step?
Misty Step. Is he able to cast another spell?
Was that a leveled spell or was it a racial ability?
I believe that is a leveled spell.
He can do a cantrip as an action.
Can do a cantrip. He is going to... he turns and... I think he turns and he's gonna try and throw a he sort of like brings his hand up like this and goes like this, and a spark of blue flame wreathes around his fingers and then like fires at you, Scylla. He's gonna shoot a firebolt at you.
Rude.
So he's gonna make an attack roll against you. Spell attack modifier is... has a 23 feel
Yeah,
for
you
ya.
know, I don't have armor, I'm a wolf.
So he is gonna hit you with just a cantrip level.
I don't
He
have
hits you with a
shoulders,
D10.
I can't wear armor.
He's gonna hit you with 5 points of fire damage.
That's not so bad.
So he shoots a firebolt in your direction. That is the scene's turn. Nymue, that brings us to you. So you are not restrained, you are not blinded, you are poisoned, and you are no longer gigantic.
Okay.
You're also not wearing any armor, and you don't have your weapons.
I don't have my... I was just gonna ask, if I look around, can I... If I can't find my weapons, can I find, like, a makeshift weapon?
Make
To grab?
make an investigation check. Or a perception check, if that's better.
It's always better with perception, please.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
It's not really a thorough investigation so
check,
much as it's just like looking around.
That's an 18 perception.
An 18 perception. Let's see what chat has to say.
14 plus 4.
No, the in-game, our chat.
Oh,
Brittney made a suggestion.
well, somebody gotta tell me what it is so I know if it's
But
cool.
her dagger that she threw
My
is it near
dagger's
there?
over there.
So, okay, so what I will say
all I got.
There is a dagger on the floor, like kind of over here. So it'll take you a little bit of movement to get to it if you want to do that.
Right.
Or if you're just hopping off the table and running at him, there is a whole interesting looking tray of very, very scary looking metallic instruments, needles, scalpels. Okay.
So I'm just gonna reach up because I'm assuming if I'm like sitting on a broken table, like it's like right beside me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reach over and randomize it. I don't care. I'm grabbing whatever.
You just like reach down. You grab a thing that kind of looks like a corkscrew, like almost like a thing you'd use to open a bottle of wine, but it has like a hand crank on it. You don't know what this thing is used for, but it doesn't look pleasant. You're just like, yeah, this'll do.
Yeah. And if I have to, I will use my side jump.
Well, let's see. So he is 5, 10, 15, 20. He's 25 feet from you. However, there is one of these things directly between the two of you.
Yeah, I'll use my side jump.
Excellent. I need you to roll me a straight D20.
Oh.
10 or below, something will happen. 10 or better, or 10 or below, something happens. 11 and up, something different happens.
Okay. I'm using my Naporian die. Let's hope it's 2.
You leap, right? You call on the psychic force of the spirit within you. You leap, and as you go to like pull on that power, your head pounds, and your connection, it's like, I don't know why this is what I think of, but for some reason I think there is a scene in the classic Robin Williams film Flubber where the flubber gets like electrocuted or something, and it goes like it goes crazy. The spirit inside of you as you try to pull on its power just like goes absolutely haywire. Your like psi power jump totally takes a shit as you go to jump, and you just end up sort of like way over jumping, and you just sort of like slam into the ground directly in front of this monster. I don't think you you're not a dipshit, right? Like you are still a lunar warrior, right? You don't like, it's not like you fall off the table and like fall on the ground like an idiot and look stupid, right? Like I think you land on your feet, you come up in like a fighting stance, right? But like the psi power of the jump like just doesn't happen.
Okay. So I couldn't get to him, but I am standing in front of
You are
the
still in
monster.
front of this thing, yes.
Do I still have my attack action?
Such as
Or
it
did
is.
that
Yes, I
hold?
think so.
Okay, then I'm just gonna hit this monster twice with this
Cool. Roll to
thing.
hit.
Alright. Disadvantage, right? For poison or for attacks it's different?
Boy, and I gotta double check. Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, yes.
Alright. Well, first one. Second one was 18 plus...
This would be an improvised weapon, so it'll just be a straight d20 plus your strength.
I'm not strong, so that's a 10 for the first hit.
10 is not going to do it.
Yeah. No. That's a 1 and a 2.
Ooh, okay. So you thrust this like corkscrew thing at this creature, but like your head is swimming. You have like the world's worst hangover right now. You're trying to get your bearings, and you kind of like thrust at this thing, but it's this like confusing mass of like buckles and chains and stuff like that, so you just don't manage to get an angle that like drives this thing into this thing's body.
For the first strike, I just realized I could do this. I don't know. I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna try and do a psi boosted strike.
Okay.
to like try and hit. Cause I hit a 10, so if I roll max, maybe I'll hit it.
Okay.
Or do I have to roll another d20?
You gotta roll a d20 again. Yes, if you're gonna try and
Okay.
call on your psi
Yeah.
powers.
I'll try and see if it activates. 14.
A 14. Yes, you hit it.
Okay.
Here's what happens.
Nimue attacks a hot topic.
Here's what here's what happens. You, for sure, this guy is so into Evanescence, and you know it. You have his number. You not only so like roll your thing, right? Like your psi and your psi empowered attack will do extra damage.
No, it guides me, so instead of a 10, I'll potentially hit him.
Interesting. Go ahead and roll that die,
Okay.
and then double it.
Okay.
As you go the other way this time, and instead of failing to activate the psi power from your soulbound entity, you get like super juice.
Oh, okay. Well, I rolled a 7, so that's plus 14.
So
to
plus 14, you for sure hit.
hit. Okay. It's only unarmed arm strike. What am I rolling for damage here?
So it's just you don't have proficiency with like improvised
No.
weapons, right?
No,
so
I
it's
don't.
just a I'm gonna say this thing. Let's do a D4 for damage plus your
Okay.
strength.
That's nothing. Just 2 damage.
2 damage. Okay, not a problem. 2 damage. So you just sort of like stick this thing into this creature, and it kind of doesn't react really.
Okay.
But you just pull it back out.
Interesting.
Okay.
Love it.
Rowan, that brings us to you. So a bunch of very complicated
Yeah.
things happen as Nymue like gets up, she like shrinks down, she like kind of jumps and stumbles, she sways for a minute, she grabs like just a knife from the closest thing she can get. There's a bunch of like weird sort of sporadic like flickerings of illumination from her tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just knifes this thing right in the gut in front of you, and it is your turn. And you have just been like psionically blasted by the one next to like the one that she's not engaged with in the middle there.
Yeah. So I'm going to do something I haven't done as Rowan yet. I'm going to channel divinity, and I'm going to turn the faithless.
Ooh.
It's a
Okay,
DC
explain it.
13 Wisdom save.
Is there any
And if-
condition like against what? Just like anybody?
Against. It says as an action you present your holy symbol, and I'm hoping they're like fiends, because each fae or fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you makes a Wisdom DC 13. Because it
So
would make them run away.
So this is sort of like a turn undead type of thing, but for
Yeah,
fair
it
fiends.
makes them
Okay.
makes them run. Yeah.
So you, what is your holy symbol? Where is it located? What does this look like as Rowan like presents this?
At this point, since she doesn't really have a holy symbol at the moment, having been kicked out, she brandishes her sword that she got from the Naporian Islands as her
Interesting.
stand-in.
So you raise Chikai high over your head, and
Mhm.
you channel the power of your resolution and your faith into the blade, and the blade like blares with light. Here's how we're gonna resolve this. They're not fiends.
I wasn't sure, but it's not my
or
best
fae.
chance.
However, I'm gonna say make an intimidation roll,
Okay.
because it's not every day you see a lady like lift up a radiant sword of
Glowing
divine
sword.
smiting, right? Like, so make
Yeah.
make an intimidation roll with that.
Okay. Ooh, wait, hold on. Okay. Hold on. Math. I think I'm in good shape right here. 17 plus 5. Someone please do math for me.
That's
22.
There we go. 22.
Okay. So these things, whatever they are, don't seem to like have the capacity to be like afraid, right? So it doesn't seem to affect them. You see, like the scene definitely like turns, and as this thing like glows, right, he like recoils as like the light illuminates, as if he is expecting it to like burn him, and it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it like
Feel it
causes him to he like something about like the idea of like he's this like radiant, dazzling light, like immediately primally scared the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how he reacts. He immediately like shrinks back as if he was about to be like scorched. Okay.
Seeing that, and because I haven't moved, I'm gonna run at that mother effer to try to just get in his space, because...
yeah, I think you usually have the
a
room. You can get right between these two guys without invoking any opportunity attacks and run right up to them.
Yeah, I want to get right in... Yeah.
So you just come, like, charging at him.
With the hopefully with the sword still glowing a little.
The sword sort of, like mostly fades down. It's maybe, like, a little bit, like an almost dead glow stick, but you, like, you come running in with it. Okay,
yeah, I
absolutely.
wasn't sure if it was going to work on anyone in the room, but I was like, you know what? If it could get rid of somebody or mess with somebody, I gotta try it.
Yeah, I think it definitely messes with, Oh, hang on a second. Alrighty, certain people in the house are doing things like professional conferences and Zoom calls and don't, for some reason, don't want idiot yelling and shouting of D&D and people scaring scary monsters yelled into the background of their Zoom calls. Who even would have thought?
Too lazy to play by myself gave bardic inspiration to Rowan.
Hell yeah. Alright. So that's a plus D6 to something during this
make
fight.
a note. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Too lazy by myself. Anything else, Rowan? I think that was your action and your move, right? If you have any bonus actions, you can do that. Otherwise, it is
Nope, that's
Murderbeard's turn.
Okay. With Rowan's last little bit there, he is now engaged.
He sure is.
So, bad news bears for you. That's gonna be a 18 to hit.
18 does in fact hit.
Okay, so that is... The normal damage is 6 damage, and then an additional 10 damage. So 16 total points of damage.
Okay. So you slam another crossbow bolt into the scene. He staggers back. And he kind of like snarls at you. And he says, "Oh, you have no idea the powers with which you are meddling." Thyxes, you are incapacitated. At the end of your turn here, go ahead and make that saving throw again for me.
That was intelligence?
Intelligence, yes.
Natural 1 for a 4.
Ooh.
Michael, no.
Thyxes, you're staggering. It's like somebody has like set off a flashbang in front of you. You're like you're trying to find your footing. The room is like spinning around you. Your inner ear is all messed up. You're like trying to find your balance, and you just like it takes everything that you have to like keep it together to stay on your feet. And you try to like line up a spell, you try to find a target, and everything is just like whirling around you. You are not able to like to snap out of it just yet.
It won't stop screaming at me.
And you won't stop screaming at me.
I've
got 2 of them now.
It is all right. It's these things' turn again. Okay. So. The 3 of these things, 5, 10, 15, 20.
They hold hands and sing a song.
They do. They hold hands, and they form a giant, even worse one of these, like Voltron. No, the 3 of these, as like you guys roll in on, the scene here. These 2, or this one comes this way. This one, since Murderbeard shot him, All three of these are going to use their like acid vomit attack this round. So Murderbeard, Nymue, and Rowan are all going to be attacked. Murderbeard. Actually, let's do it this way. The lowest of the three is a 16.
That is my armor class.
Okay. All right. That actually doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Let me do it this way. So 24 against Murderbeard, a 16 against Nymue, and a 21 against Rowan. Nimue's not wearing armor, so
Yeah, we all get.
all of you definitely get hit. I'm just gonna do 1 damage roll for everybody just to save time. Everybody takes 3 points of acid damage. Okay. As all three of these things just go like and just spit acidy purple vomit at you. That's their turn. Top of the order, Scylla.
Listen, I'm a one-trick dire wolf.
You a wolf?
Okay, I'm a wolf. I want to run over. I counted it. I think it's exactly. I have 50 feet of movement. I think it's exactly 50 feet for me to like weasel my way over there. I don't know. This guy moves, so now I'm not sure. Yeah. 20, 25, 30. I can't. There's like this text box over everything, so I can't quite see.
Let's see. 5, 10, 15,
20, 25, 30.
30, 35, 40, 45. Yeah, I would say what you're gonna take. Actually, you're not, because these guys don't actually have a melee attack ability. So if you want to go like boop, scoot past Scylla and go like this, or past Nymue and go like this, you can do that. And this thing actually does not do anything to you.
I can't see my. There's like a text box over everything because Roll20's loading weird, so I can't see my character now. But yeah, I'm gonna bite him.
Oh, weird. Okay. Roll to hit.
Yes. 22 to hit.
Oh, for sure. Roll damage.
Oh, oops. Where did that dice just go? Oh my god. Okay. 11 piercing damage, and he needs to make a strength save.
His strength
DC
save
13.
is an 11. He is driven to the ground again as you come roaring in and just slam down on top of him.
I am enjoying the taste of his blood. That's my turn.
Okay. He's not like pinned by you, right? He just has to get up.
He's just knocked prone.
Okay. He's knocked prone. And he's going to run some quick calculations in his head. And he's gonna do this.
No! And Thyxes is stunned, he can't counterspell!
He takes a step. No, he takes a step like this. So, Rowan, if you would like to take an attack of opportunity, you can. He seems to calculate some like risk versus reward here, and he like dives, like sidestep dives, kind of away from you.
That is 18 plus 6, so 24 to hit.
Yes, that definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Whew! That's I can't do math. I'm so sorry. I'll get better at one day. 10 points of damage.
10. Okay, very good. So you like swing and you catch him in like the meat of his forearm his upper arm as he like dives away and he like hisses. But he lands in this space and looks up and he goes like and he puts both his hands together like this and like pulls them apart, and as he does there is this like crackling purple like lightning electricity between his hands, which he then casts forward, and he's gonna cast lightning bolt, and he does that in a line which will hit Scylla and Murderbeard. So I need both of you guys to make dexterity saving throws.
No. That's
19.
a 6.
Okay, Murderbeard, you succeed. Scylla, you are going to fail. So Scylla, you will take full damage as he unleashes this, like, just thick, crackling beam of, like, purple lightning just discharges from him. Scylla,
Can I do a protective field over Scylla and reduce the damage?
sure. Are you... Is there any, like, you have to be close enough or just see her or anything like that?
32.
I do need you to roll a d20.
Okay.
I mean, I basically have like a bunch of HP right now, so it's
15.
okay.
15.
Oh,
Okay. A roll to reduce whatever the damage is, and then double it.
Oh. Double the dice or double total?
Double the total.
Alrighty. So you reduce it by 12.
All right. Interesting. Interesting outcome. Scylla, you do not, he's too close to you to get out of the way, right? You fully just eat this lightning bolt. Except, in an instant, this, like, encompassing, like, cocoon of psychic energy wraps around you. Nymue, you, like, instinctively just, like, protect your friend, right? And you feel the spirit inside you, like, roar to the occasion like a damn, like, mama bear protecting her cubs, right? Like, this thing rips power out of you like you have never experienced from it before. And Scylla, instead of taking 23 points of lightning damage, you're going to take 11. Murderbeard, Murderbeard, you just like throw yourself flat and get out of the way of like the heftier chunk of this. So you'll take half damage, which means you also take 11.
do you have evasion yet, or is that level 6?
It might be level 6.
I think it might be level 6.
Yeah.
We'll let him resolve that when he figures it out, and we'll move forward, as that was Thyxes' turn. And this, like, everybody has this, like, purple-blue, like, after image burned into their retinas of this lightning bolt that illuminated the area. But Nymue, it is your turn.
Cool. Yeah, I think I'm
not to metagame on your guys' behalf, but I do want to remind you. One of your party members has your Naginata right now. I don't know who's carrying it, but one of them does have it.
No, it's in my body, which is why
Okay.
I can't say it as the wolf, but I'm like, you don't have to heal me, like.
Okay, I understand now.
5
So
hit points.
I just
The wolf's
like
not
you've
looking
been like
good.
stabbing with this thing. Like somebody's got that weapon. I just wanted to remind you guys.
Literally, like, in my tail or something right now.
It's fine. I'll get it soon enough if you drop. So I'm gonna rush the scene.
Okay.
I'll try and flank if that helps Scylla.
Absolutely, you can. Boop, boop, boop. Once again, this thing does not have doesn't seem to have the ability to like react fast enough to one of you guys running away from it. They don't seem to be like they don't move very fast.
Does
So
this
it's
negate
sort of
the
like-
poison? Give me a straight roll.
Does what negate the poison?
Flanking. Or do you flank?
Yeah, we'll say so.
Sure. All right.
Wait a second, I take half damage even though I made the save?
Yes,
And
Unless
was
you
behind
have-
cover?
You have evasion?
cover
yeah.
cover does not apply to like a lightning thing like this. It's not a direct attack.
Do you have evasion already?
Cover boosts your AC.
No.
Yeah, if you don't-
have
if you-
evasion, then you don't take it.
Eventually, as a rogue, you can take no
Nope,
damage
lower
when you make
levels.
the save. Okay.
Natural 20!
Hell yeah.
Okay, where's my other d4?
So 2d4 plus your strength.
2d4. I don't have strength.
2d4
But
plus nothing.
I do have my Psi Surge, or
can-
I
yeah.
will probably do the telekinetic strike.
You can do
also.
that. You're gonna have to roll for it. Your d20, but
That's 5 base damage. I will
Okay.
roll the d20 now. That is a 18 on the d20.
yeah. So your psychic damage doubles.
Yeah. Nice. So that would be 2d8s. So that's 10 damage.
Ooh,
Psychic damage.
okay. How many times have you? Was this the second time you have succeeded on this psychic damage? This roll? Okay.
Yeah, second time.
So you like juke around this horrid abomination, and you like get up to the scene, and you just like stick this thing between his ribs, and he like. And this blood comes out, and he turns, and unsettlingly enough, he looks at you with not an expression of like rage or even like pain. When he looks at you, he looks almost elated. Is a weird word for it, but like he looks at you almost with like a hunger, and he says, "Yes, yes, your reaction is perfect. You are worthy."
And I will be your downfall. You and your experiments. Used against you. How's it feel?
He says, "We shall see about that. You are a promising subject for my master." And, Rowan, that's gonna bring us to you.
I don't know what to do. I'm panicking. Okay, how far am I from Thyxes? Because this loading box on my game is messing me up, so.
About 30 feet.
Okay. So I'm going to stab at the scene.
Yep.
With Shikai. Because I am angry at him.
Yes.
23 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
10 more points of damage.
Okay.
And while I know... Oh wait, they don't have a melee thing, do they? You said
They don't appear to, because they are like
Okay.
mummies, basically.
They're mummies. So then I'm running straight back towards Thyxes. I'm
Okay.
gonna put myself between him and everything else in the room.
So you can
right
kind
now.
of, you're able to sort of like shimmy yourself there.
Yeah, I want to just, like, however I can get there, and, like, if I can, if it, for, you know, theater of the mind, like, I'm kind of, like, crouching in front of him with my shield out towards everything else in the room right now.
Okay. Cool.
I can't do anything else at this moment because I stabbed the scene, but
Sure.
it's good enough for me right now.
Alrighty. Excellent. That is going to bring us to Murderbeard.
Okay. So Thyxes is unconscious, correct?
He's not unconscious. He's like
Stunned.
He's like reeling from whatever this like psychic blast this thing hit him with.
He's been
is.
yelling at you this whole time, and he hasn't been
So-
able to do anything.
The question is, with a good
I
old
think that's
dwarven,
plenty. I think that's
Good old-
plenty. I love
with a
it.
good old dwarven bonk, knock him out of it.
you
Rules
won't
as
hurt him.
written, no. But rule of cool, I think if you want to use your action to like grab his lapels and smack him, like get a hold of yourself, man. I will
Yeah.
fully give him advantage on his roll.
Okay. So you want me to roll an unarmed strike, or will I...
No. We can just say you use your action to do that.
Okay.
And then it won't deal any damage. You just use your action this turn to like grab Thyxes and be like, get a hold of yourself.
Yeah.
Double smack.
I think it's
ow,
I think it's
easy.
true fashion. He will go over, grab Thyxes by the shoulders. Thyxes, Shut the fuck up!
Okay, then with that, that brings us to Thyxes' turn. And Thyxes, at the end of your turn, you can repeat that intelligence saving throw with advantage for Murderbeard's intervention.
Okay. Let's
Oh,
see
I
how
got
we
an
do.
8 bonus for the dwarven bonk.
Good job, Thyxes!
That's an 18 with advantage.
And 18 will do it. You like the world just like snaps back into focus as you kind of like look down, and Murderbeard is just like shaking you.
Okay, Captain, stop! Stop, Captain, stop! I'm okay, I'm good, Captain,
You're
stop,
much
please.
taller than Murderbeard, but you are lifted off the ground.
I think that,
He-
like, half
Rowan's
of
kneeling
this
on the
fight-
ground looking at this like, what the
He
hell?
pulled like a step stool over with him, got up on the step stool, and then
Yeah.
lifted Thyxes into the air.
Yeah.
Half of
Uh,
this fight is like heavy metal, like chains and gore, and then half of it is the Benny Hill theme song.
Yeah.
Very good.
Two
Okay.
of the Three Stooges in the back.
Unfortunately, it is these guys' turns here. So I gotta make some rolls for them real quick. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay,
Thank you for them or for us?
for you.
Oh, boy.
This thing is gonna slide this way for this one to turn, and this one to turn around. Scylla, the one here near you, is going to. I need a dexterity saving throw. This is going to acid vomit at you.
Hold on, I have to. That's an 11.
That is not gonna cut it. You are going to take 9 points of acid damage. As it.
I am a me.
All right, Scylla, in
I take
a
4 spillover.
in a haze of burning acid goop and wolf fur, turns back into her normal Firbolg self. The three of you, unfortunately, need to make not one, but 2 of those intelligence saving throws.
Are saving
As-
throws at disadvantage for poison as well?
Not you,
No, you're
Nymue.
over here.
These
You're good.
three.
Oh, okay.
Rowan,
Okay,
Murderbeard, and Thyxes, as these two both had their ability recharged this round, and both psychic shriek at these three.
On one of them, I'm going to use protection to block Thyxes.
On your like shield protection is not
It's not
doesn't
gonna
have
work
any
for that.
effect against this type of attack.
Dang it! I was like, no, leave it alone.
17 and a 19.
Would mine have a protection
Okay.
effect since mine's psychic?
I don't know, but it's cool. So yes, sure.
Okay, I would like to try and save
Okay.
Thyxes because I already know. I can
Okay.
see what's happening on
I'm
roll
into
20.
it. I'm into it. However,
I need to roll.
you need to roll a d20.
First one was a big oof, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
16.
16. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna say. Thyxes, she's using this on you. I'm gonna say you automatically succeed on one of them. I don't know how we like
See, I already know the numbers.
how we
so
resolve this.
You want me to re-roll both?
No,
or-
I think what we're
Okay.
gonna do if you rolled 2 already. Here's how I think we'll do this. Because I like the idea that this like whatever this thing inside of like Nymue is, the spirit that she has, right? Like whatever shit the scene like put into her is absolutely driving the connection between the two of them straight up bonkers haywire. The dice were in her favor though, because this is your 3rd success on one of those rolls. So, once again, a powerful wave of like psychic eminence, just like you just project it forth from you. So, Thyxes, you automatically are going to save one of those saves, and the 2 that you rolled, just let's just use it as advantage. So, pick the better one.
Okay. My first roll was a 5. My
Cool.
second roll was a natural 20 for a 23.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So, Thyxes and Murderbeard, you are both okay from both blasts, which leaves us
Holy crap.
with Rowan. How did you do?
I rolled a 16 on the first, and then I stopped rolling because I wanted to hear
Okay.
what was happening.
You succeed the first one, so make that last roll.
It's 17, just barely with my plus.
That's enough. The three of you resist.
I bet we all just fall backwards away from that.
Yeah, you guys definitely like stagger back as this like torrent of psychic assault just like tears into you, but you through the strength you feel like the three of you hunker together, you draw strength from each other as you are like next to each other, and you feel like Nymue's presence like a guardian angel like wraps around you, and the three of you resist the like monstrous psychic shriek of anguish from these creatures, and you are unaffected by either of those blasts.
For the record, it was almost a 3, and I thought it was going to land on 3. And then it made the final turn to 17, and I almost died a little.
Scylla, back as yourself. It is your turn.
So, like, as just like a, I don't know if this would count as like a object interaction, like a little free action, now that I have, like, Nymue's Naginata, like, out of my ass, can I just, like, hand it to her?
Yes, you can.
Like, I cough a little bit, like, shake off some of the barf and hand it to her. And then once I see that she's got it, I'm gonna just, like, go for a big move here. So the diagonals on the map are, like, a little wonky, but it seems to me like the scene and these two that just screamed, are they all within a 30-foot line of each other? If it was 10 feet wide, 30 feet long?
10 feet wide, 30 long. You're trying to tidal wave these guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the math works out. Like the tiles are funky, but like if we work on proper 3 dimensions, I think you can hit I think you can hit all 3 of them. Yes.
Okay, I will just like move like one back, so I'm still in his range, but just like out of the way of my own spell. And then there's not really any water in here.
Oh,
but
don't worry, I've got that covered. They just have to make a dex save, right?
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, the way that I explained it when she did it last session was she, like, dropped a prick of her blood in the water, so I feel like she drops a prick of blood down into, like, this grate, and some just, like, nasty bloody gore just tidal waves all of them.
Hey, let me
and
tell
they
you,
have to make a dex save.
Let me tell you what they rolled. They rolled a 1.
Fail.
They rolled a 3.
A fail.
And they rolled a 7.
Also a fail. My DC is 15, so they all get knocked prone. Also, like, the water spreads out in all directions and extinguishes any open flames. Within 30
I think
feet of
the
it.
way
I don't know
that
if
worked, like
matters.
nothing gets extinguished. So,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll your damage, and it's basically what
wait,
happens, right? Scylla, you like prick your finger, right? You like let a drop of blood fall to the floor. It like slithers through the crevices in these like flagstones and drops down into this grate, and there is like a deep rumble and just filthy, fetid, putrid water, like filled with just, you don't even want to know what comes up out of this gate, and just the grate on the floor and just crashes down onto the 3 of these things.
27 points of bludgeoning damage. I rolled 2 7s, an 8, and a 5.
Very nice.
Nice.
So as the water like
rolled D6s.
slushes back into this floor grate, smell, not gonna lie, not great. Not your favorite thing you've ever spelled to anybody. These things are actually, they're immune to being knocked prone, right? Because they float, kind of like a beholder. They sort of like, as the water clears, they're kind of just like weeble wobble, sort of like flopping around, right? But they eventually just sort of come to a righted position. But they do all take the full 27 points of damage.
And then with my bonus action, oh my god, what can I turn into that's like absolutely nasty? I want to just, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, and Scylla is gonna like really just like go to her roots and turn into a giant hyena.
Okay, absolutely. We only have one mini for this, so we're using the giant wolf again.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
But yeah, it's like, cause like all the blood and stuff, now she's just really excited. So
Absolutely.
she's just gonna turn into a giant hyena and is just like doing a hyena cackle in this man's face.
Okay.
Oh, also there was chat gave a proficiency bonus for the dwarven bonk.
The dwarven.
I missed that.
Ye old dwarven bonk. So you're in this space,
Yes.
right?
So Murderbeard gets a +3.
Space. Perfect. Okay. So that was Scylla's turn. Here's what we're gonna do. The scene kind of like looks around, and things are not going great for him. And he is going to, he like turns and he looks and he's like kind of like he darts in between, like Scylla sort of like in the process of like turning into this hyena. He kind of like takes this moment and he like scoots, he slips around and he's just going to do this, right? He's going to move to here. And he like looks at you and he goes, "We have work to do. These distractions have been enough." And he is going to cast a spell. As he... Let's see what the material is. He pulls a small, like, crystalline structure from his, like, component pouch. And he crushes it in his hand, and then blows it, like, out of his hands. As he is going to cast Cone of Cold. So I need everybody that isn't Nymue, including these three things, is going to make a Constitution saving throw.
So not me?
He basically, like, he has maneuvered it such almost that he is, like, standing next to you and basically goes, like, "Watch this," and then blasts this at all of your friends.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Natural 20, so a 23.
Whew, okay.
Oh, natural 20 for a 24.
Whoa! 2 nat 20s?
Oh my god.
I needed it too, because that might have been like a straight up death for me.
15.
17.
Okay. I think
Do we all make it?
Scylla is the only person that doesn't make it.
That's okay. Giant hyenas have more hit points than a dire wolf.
It's true. Okay. So he's only using this at its, like, base level, which is still not great for you.
And I don't have a reaction yet, so
I have to roll.
No, you're fine. I'm good. Listen, my main form has only lost 4 hit points.
okay.
Scylla.
Yeah.
You take 37 points of cold damage.
If I was a dire wolf, I would be popped back, but I'm not.
Everybody else, you take 19 points of cold damage.
Even behind the half cover?
The half cover does not help you from saving throw effects, unfortunately.
Thyxes is unconscious.
All right, Thyxes falls to the ground.
Murderbeard not doing great.
How much damage did you take, Scylla?
37.
She took 37.
Oh.
Did that just?
If I would have failed that, I probably would have been insta death.
Yeah, you would have been insta killed with that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Did it do anything else?
No, it's just this, like, wintry,
damage?
frigid, subarctic blast of, like, ice and sleet and freezing cold just rakes across. Here's what I do need to do, though. Because, this was an indiscriminate spell, right? These three things were in the spell. Two of them failed. One of them got a nat 20. So succeeds. Regardless, all three freeze solid and fall, like, once they've frozen, the psychic, like, floating that is holding them up ceases, and they fall and hit the ground and topple and shatter into, like, chunks.
Hasta la vista, baby.
All three of these are dead from this attack. That is the scene's turn. Nymue. This brings us to you as you watch your friends get, like, savaged by this spell. And he, like, turns towards you and says, "When I'm done with your little friends, you and I have more experiments to do. Not since you, yes, you will be perfect."
Scylla, you're still standing, right?
Scylla is still standing.
Girl, I got 8 HP. I'm
No,
I'm vibing.
So are we still flanking?
No, based on current
No.
position, you are not.
He moved, so you would have to move.
Do I have enough room to still flank, or if not, I will...
Yeah, you can kind of like scooch behind him.
I'll scooch.
You can scooch behind him like that. Nope. No, boy. This whole operation is quickly going to pieces. Put
I'm
him
going
there, put
to-
him there.
I know I probably can't do called shots, but she's aiming for his arms, because she doesn't want him to use his hands anymore.
Sure. Go ahead and roll to hit.
Alright.
You have your Naginata back at this point.
I have my Naginata back. First hit. 15.
A 15 does hit.
Oh! Alright.
You see it just breaks through that magical armor that he's got over his robes.
14 damage.
Okay. You stab into him. Some, like, blood comes out of his mouth.
Alright, I'm going to try and hit again. Another 15 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
This one I'm gonna try to do psychic damage on top, but we'll see. Yeah, I definitely want to, so that's 9 points of damage regular, and I guess I have to roll d20.
Yep. No, actually, so you realize as you like call upon the psychic power, the power of this spirit bound to you, you kind of feel better. The, like, whatever he injected you with, as you just, like, brute forced your way through it, and you have, like, burned the effect of it out of your system.
That's what works.
Yes, it just works.
Okay, good. That's an extra 4 psychic damage.
What was the regular damage on that one?
It was just 4.
The
14.
14 and 4.
14.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
You like,
Or was it 10?
you swing, you like slash at one of his arms as he's like bringing it up to do the cast or do something, and you like cleanly cut through like 2.5 of his fingers on his left hand. and you like
Scroll half hand junior.
whip, yeah. you whip the naginata around and like bring it up as he brings the other hand up, and at the last second he like turns his body. You're not sure what he was trying to accomplish, but the result is that the naginata just hits him like under his partially upraised arm and just cuts into his torso.
Okay.
And he like reaches out with his like mangled hand as if he's trying to like touch your face.
No.
But it doesn't make it, right? Like he gets like halfway there and then the arm just like slumps to the side and he looks at you and he says, You could have been the one to withstand. You could have opened the way. And he falls dead to the ground.
Oh shit. I just wanted him to stop doing experiments, but I just stopped him full stop.
You stopped him full stop. The scene is dead. We are out of combat. Thyxes, I am going to need one death saving throw from you.
Okay.
Got it.
And then I have a thing.
And then I assume Rowan has a thing.
Rowan's freaking out.
That's
How
a 5.
dare you.
Failure.
A five, okay.
Stop
Okay,
this!
it's fine. Healer kit, healer feet, F it, we're done. We're not playing this game anymore. I don't like this game. Make it stop.
What are you you're using what are you doing
I'm
to him?
using I took the healing feat, or the
Okay.
healer feat, and so it's 1d6 plus 4 to get him back up.
Okay.
So that's 7 hit points back to you, Thyxes.
All right.
Thyxes, you
And
regain consciousness. You are like instantly you're like shivering, frozen.
So cold.
for fun, at this point, because they're both right next to me, can I then just put both my hands on one on Thyxes and one on Murderbeard?
Yeah.
And pump some lay on hands into each of them. Thyxes, I'll give you another 7.
Okay.
And Murderbeard, I'll give you 7.
Cool. All right. So,
Thank you,
I-
Rowan.
And then I run over to Nymue.
I turned to see, like, think you could sniff out my shit?
I let out a really creepy, like, hyena, like, whatever they do, and I start sniffing.
make an investigation check. With advantage, I think if the hyena also gets that like smell advantage.
Funny thing, like, direwolves are really good at smelling. Hyenas are just, like, have a bloodlust thing.
Okay.
So it's just regular.
Just regular. Okay.
Natural investigation? That's a 21.
You follow the trail of like you kind of sniff, and your sniffing leads you. You get like kind of disoriented for a second because you're like, wait a minute, hang on a second. You're like,
Blood.
hi, I'm just smelling Nymue, and you're like, oh no, wait a second. And you realize that like the trail goes through this door over here, right, like right behind you, like right behind Nymue.
Can I yeet myself into the door like I was doing upstairs?
You can, yeah, you make an athletics check.
Can I quickly check Vasine's body if he has anything on him?
Yes, you can. Roll and no, don't roll anything. That's stupid.
Okay.
You find on him, two things. A well-used book that you open, and into it is like it's filled with all sorts of like what you just sort of like I don't like Nymue doesn't you're not like studied in this, right? But like
Right.
you can kind of tell like, oh, this is a bunch of like wizard shit, right? Like you think this is his spell book probably.
Okay.
The other thing that you find is around his neck, he is wearing like it's on it's this chain, and it's a thing that has like a metal clasp holding onto a like almost looks like a vial, and inside it has what kind of looks like a similar sort of like purpley magenta fluid to the stuff that is in those like now deceased abominations.
Okay.
That is what you find on Thyxes' body.
I'll take both.
When Nymue stands up, Rowan is awkwardly standing behind her and is shaking, and then she just kind of hugs Nymue, and I'm going to dump some healing into her. I'm going to give you 6 hit points back, and that's my lay on hands for now.
Oh, that almost takes me to fall.
And like, Rowan's clearly trying not to cry.
Oh, I knew you guys would come. You did good job. Good timing. He was going to like burn off my nerve endings or something creepy. But now he won't do that ever again.
So Matt, on the map there is a table over there near me that has a open book and a scroll and all kinds of stuff. Is that there in the scene?
Yeah. You guys can take a look at whatever you want to look at.
Yeah, Thyxes would probably just like wander over there and just start opening pages and start looking through it and kind of mumbling to himself while he's doing it.
Okay. And so as Thyxes does that, Nymue, Scylla, what was your
18 athletics.
18. You just smash through this door. No problem. It wasn't locked. Probably could have just opened it.
I don't
Didn't
have
matter.
thumbs.
Didn't matter. You
did what no
you
one
knocked that
does,
door
just
open.
pushes.
Yeah,
You
I
find
knocked it
yourself
open.
in this space, in a kind of a little hallway thing with some stairwells. That's a little stairwell that goes downwards a little bit.
I yeet myself down the stairs just like that,
Just
sliding
like
on
that.
my back.
Okay. In the map here, the door is on the wrong side. I had some difficulties. It's fine. There is a door this way.
You know, I'm doing it again. I do not have thumbs.
Athletics check. Go ahead.
Scylla down, seeing
All
her
right, Nymue
go
comes down
ahead.
as well.
That's an 11.
This time you just sort of like thunk into the door and it doesn't open.
Okay, then I start like scratching at the door and I turn to Nymue and I make a sad hyena laugh.
Oh,
Okay.
I will try the door.
The door is in fact unlocked.
Okay, I opened it for her and stand back.
You open. Let's shift upwards here. Thyxes. You kind of like flip through the stuff that he's got on his table here. Make an investigation check.
Okay.
Or theoretically an insight check if you want to as well. Whichever one is better for you.
Investigation is better. I rolled a 19.
You find, so on the table here, as you kind of go through this, and sort of like as you go through, like, just to save you so you don't have to like go to every table that's on the map here, right? Like, you go through the stuff that is up here.
Yeah, basically what Thyxes is doing is like, what was this guy up to?
Yeah, you just rifle his crap in his lab here, right? You find a few things of note. You find, so it is evident that the scene had a distinct interest in a few particular fields of study. You find some stuff related to like anatomical study. So you find, some books, diagrams, things like that. For like the purposes of like your inventory and stuff that you might want to take. You find a book on like anatomy of various races of Aegeria. It is of Ignean make. So it's much more detailed where it comes to like elves and humans, and a lot less detailed when it comes to certain other races. But there is a ton of like handwritten stuff written into this book that it appears like this scene, doing his own research, was like adding notes to this like anatomical book. you find a book on poisons, essentially. It is a book describing like the nature of poisons, the effect of poisons, the distilling and creation of poisons. Somebody so inclined to like make such things could use this book very effectively for that purpose. Other than that, you find in this area, there is a book on the table here. For Thyxes wouldn't know this, but like for the macro level, for the viewers and for us as the observers of this, this is the book in the position that like whenever Nymue was like having this back and forth with him, and she heard him like scribble, writing things down, this is the book that he was writing things in. And Thyxes, you pick this book up, and you cannot read or decipher or understand a damn thing that is written in it. It is not in any type of language that you have ever seen before, as far as you can tell.
I think I would still pocket it.
Yeah, sure.
For the future.
Make a actually, since you're like fat, you did a pretty good roll there. Make an insight check as you pick this thing up.
Okay. Natural 1 for a 2.
Okay. Yeah, it's written in some type of language or script that you have never seen. You don't know what it is.
This guy has terrible handwriting.
Okay.
Is the syringe still on the table?
It is.
Is there still anything in it?
The syringe is empty. However, there is a a vial. You can see there's like a little bit of this like kind of like magenta-ish fluid, like residue left in the syringe, and there is a vial that contains a little bit of it still like on the table. You do find that.
I'll snag that too.
Okay, cool. Get that. Rowan and Murderbeard, is there anything either of you two guys are doing like up here before I move down to what Nymue and Scylla are doing?
Is there anything else that looks particularly interesting in this room?
There are. So as we kind of scan around the room, there's a bunch of like shelves with reagents and ingredients and liquids of various sorts and things that I think probably mean nothing to Murderbeard, right? Like this is a bunch of like science bullshit. You're like nerd. There are. Let's see this. So there's the door that Scylla and Nymue went in. There's another door here that you have not gone in. And when you guys came in, you came in this way, right? Like you came in through here, through this door, and it like straight through into here. There, you do know that you bypassed a couple of doors in this like this antechamber room before you came in here. So there's like some stuff that you haven't gone to yet.
I'll go in this door.
Okay.
Well,
you go over and you open that door, and
I don't like what I see.
What you see inside
Tabletop sim, so
is in fact it is a like the medieval high fantasy equivalent of like a crematorium. This is maybe ridiculous to the scope. Like this is a pile of like goddamn 100 bodies. Like that's excessive, but like you see that there is like a furnace in here and some like charred remains and like some urns and stuff. You think you can tell pretty easily that it seems like people that did not survive Thyxes experiments, this was the fate that befell them.
Murderbeard's going to open the door, see what's in the door, and then immediately close it and go, well, that's the worst room ever. Nobody go in there.
Rowan hearing that.
Go back over here.
Yeah. Rowan hearing Murderbeard go, that's the worst room ever. We'll turn around and walk back the way we came because there was that other door. And I want to go that way.
There's 2 doors here that you can explore that you haven't. There's one here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one here.
Nimue's not in there with us.
No, Nymue has gone down here. We're gonna move to them in a second.
Downstairs.
Yeah. Can I try to stop Rowan?
Sure.
You can, yeah.
What's up, Thyxes?
Now, Rowan, didn't we? What did you see in there, Captain?
The body disposal room, essentially.
Oh.
Wait, didn't we hear that perhaps Nymue's family could have been here?
That's why I want to look through everything. And they went downstairs.
There is nothing
pretty much
that would be
anybody who's
identifiable in that
there.
room.
Anybody who's in there.
I think
not
we should
going
look
to be
around everywhere
identifiable.
else first and try to get information somewhere else first. If we're gonna be sifting through that, I don't want to. We wouldn't know what to look for anyway.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep walking.
So, which door? You want this door? You want this door?
I'm going to roll a d4.
Okay.
I'm going to follow along, and I'll go in whatever door she doesn't go in.
Okay, that makes.
Okay.
All right, so then I'll go to the one between the statues.
Okay, so you go
From
this
what
way.
I can see.
And Murderbeard, you go this way.
Just all getting messed up.
Okay.
Me and
Both of
Tabletop
you,
are not agreeing.
both of you open these doors. They are not locked. It does not seem that it like occurred to Thyxes that like somebody might get all the hell the way down here, right? So like the interior, like the doors to get down here, and obviously the facility itself like took some doing to get into. But like now that you're in here, Thyxes was not locking internal doors in his laboratory, right? So you guys open these doors, no problem. You walk into the respective rooms that is behind each of these doors, and you both simultaneously encounter something. But we're going to slide this way to Nymue and Scylla, as they have entered this chamber here. The two of you come through the door into what is pretty clearly like a private library slash like living quarters. There's a desk against this wall here. There are papers and books and scrolls kind of scattered about. There are bookshelves with books and tomes and things. Down a little further into the room, you can see there's kind of like an L-shaped turn in the wall, but you can see there's like a bed in there. You enter into what you are fairly certain is Arcanist Thyxes' like private chambers within Serengras here.
Do I have any like beat on the direction of Nymue's like stuff?
Oh yeah, you you immediately you come in and there's like a table to the side of the scene's like desk here, and it just has like Nymue's stuff has been like neatly laid out on this table, and you see that there's like some papers next to it upon which some like notes have been written as if he was basically like cataloging and inventorying like the stuff that came in on her.
I do a little giggle, and then I'm gonna get out of. Then I will unwild shape and become myself.
Okay.
Goodbye, little wolf.
You turn.
Yeah, I will grab my stuff and kind of motion.
Nymue's still a little large, huh?
My lord.
Scale her back to normal size.
Wait, now she looks tiny.
Oh no!
I'm Vito.
Wait, make her like one bigger. No.
Somebody's making her smaller.
No, she's too large.
Oh, she's too big now.
And God, I've been a creature for so long, I don't remember how to talk. I am going to use. I'm gonna like basically like hold Nymue back and say, "Let me take a closer look at this space before we go any further." And I am going to do my Firbolg magic to cast Detect Magic.
There it is.
Okay.
So, like,
there is.
Yeah, my eyes, I don't know, they like glow green.
Okay. There's nothing that emanates any magic in this chamber that you can see as you kind of like move your way around.
Okay. Well, this room seems normal at least, but we can go upstairs and check. I don't really know what do you want to look for here?
Notes on the previous Kalashtar he took. Previous Lunar Warriors he took, rather. Apparently there was 4 others aside from me. I say as I'm like grabbing my armor and she's grabbing my shit.
Okay. What are you guys searching around in this room?
Yeah, I'd want to look around to see if there's like if he's cataloging my stuff. Maybe he's cataloged something about my brother or the other 4.
Yeah, I can speak Elvish, so if I can like help her read anything, then I'll help.
Go ahead and both of you can roll an investigation check.
Alrighty. I'm not poisoned anymore, right?
You are no longer considered poisoned.
16.
Okay.
Natural 20 on my Naporian die.
Hey. Okay, here's what you guys find as you search around this room. You kind of like you toss his desk, you go through his bookshelves, you like go through his bed to see if there's anything in there, like maybe he's got some shit under the mattress or something. Who knows, right? You guys pretty thoroughly toss this chamber. You find a few things of interest. The first thing you find, pretty quickly, in one of the drawers of his desk, you find a pouch that, as you open it up and you open the drawer and you kind of like nudge the pouch, gives the immediate and distinctive clink of coins.
Yoink.
You take that. You acquire a pouch containing 300 Ignean gold regals.
Scylla does not like. This is the one thing that I is canon about her character. She does not care about like money. So if she like finds that, she's just like nah. Like it's a Nymue. She's like, I don't care. I don't know how much this is. It means nothing to me.
Okay.
Yo, that's a lot of money.
That's yes. That is a lot of money. It's essentially.
That's 1,500.
It's
in the
yeah. So multiply it by
Macbeth.
on our like base gold amount. It is 5 times that.
Oh. Okay.
Because Ignean currency is.
We're gonna put a stripper pole in the ship.
I need to assume there isn't already one in the captain's quarters.
You do find that.
Okay.
And you find something else.
I cast prestidigitation to make strobe lights.
With a natural 20, Nymue, you find something among his like there's like the bookshelf like beside his desk. A lot of the shelves in here are like it's a lot of like arcane tomes and textbooks and like studies on magic and studies on medicine and studies on anatomy and studies on like various things. The shelf to the side of his desk has a lot of stuff that it seems like is things that he has. There's like notes and things like that in there, right? Like this is stuff that he has written. And you find a tome in among that, like that stuff, and nothing like especially sticks out about it. You just like are kind of going through these books, like seeing if there's anything that strikes you, and you just grab like a book at random and you flip it open to a random page, and you are staring face to face with a drawing of Thyxes.
What?
But no, not Thyxes. It just looks like Thyxes. And you kind of take a closer look. It is a very detailed drawing of a tiefling. And you kind of flip through some of the pages. Flip through some of the more pages. This whole book seems to be, and it is much like the thing that Thyxes found, it is not written in any language that you recognize.
All right.
But like the diagrams and things that you can see is that there is something like he was doing something intensely focused on tieflings that he like annotated in this book. And the book has maybe like a couple dozen empty pages at the back of it, but like it seems like he stopped like whatever he was doing. He like finished it and like put this book up on this shelf. But he was doing something with this book that he was extremely interested in tieflings for some reason.
Yeah, I take that.
Okay. That is what you guys find in his chambers.
Yeah, we
I
go
will
back up.
pass. I give Nymue 2 good berries for the road,
Okay.
and we go up.
Okay, so you guys head back up, and we're gonna hop back briefly, because as they were doing this over here, Rowan and Murderbeard, you guys were simultaneously opening 2 doors. Rowan, you open your door and step into this chamber, and you are in a dungeon of some sort. There's cells, barred doors. On one side, there are some clearly dead people. On the other side, there is a very sort of bedraggled, very frightened and uncertain looking female individual. She is a... she's an elf. She's a high elf. And she is like towards the back of a cell, and as you like come into the room, she's huh! And she says, are you the source of the commotions that I heard outside? Are you here to rescue me?
I was part of the noise. How long have you been in here?
She says, it is hard to get track, a handful of days, like a few weeks. She says, please, if you must take me away from this place before that monster can do whatever horrible thing it is he wishes to do to me.
If you mean the magic dude?
She says, that pig Arcanist, the scene.
Yeah, he's dead, so you can breathe.
She kind of like blinks, blinks a little, and she says, good, but we are in
I know where we
better
are.
shape as long as we are in the Empire. Just please,
Believe me, I know.
take me away from here.
Rowan walks towards the door, but she's very paranoid in this space, and she's
Sure.
really kind of
I
messing with people
think
there.
make an insight check, Ron.
Okay. That's not great. That's like a 12, an 11.
Okay,
Great.
that's good enough. All right, it was an easy DC, only a 10. Because Rowan Rowan is a thing that Rowan will know.
Mm-hmm.
Her clothes are pretty filthy from being down here, but you recognize the green and gold and white, and the emblem emblazoned into the I don't know, doublet that she's wearing. It is a four-cornered crest. This woman is wearing the colors and the tabard of a member of the Ordinum Libri. This woman's a bookkeeper.
Okay, we don't. There's no keys hanging anywhere or anything. In this room.
Not that you
There's
see, no.
I yell out for Murderbeard and anyone else who can hear me, but I think of him because he's just a person I know that might have a good shot at this. And I just yell for anyone who come over. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, I thought I was strange being here.
She shakes her head. She says, my name is Eora Vesta. She says, I am the I did administrate the Omer III field office of the Ordinum Libri, but I I was taken in. The guard kicked down the door to the enclave and hauled me away without telling me any charges and threw me in a cell, and then I was brought here. She says this is against every treaty of neutrality that the Ordinum Libri has with all of the 5 kingdoms. She says, I do not know what they intend, but she kind of like gestures broadly around. She says, I know what that monster was doing to people down here. She says, please, I do not know where you are, but if you have killed the scene, then our interests are aligned. Please, help me get out of here. Help me. I must return to the Ordinum and tell them what has happened here.
I want to get you out. Trust me. I just know that if I mess with the bars or the store, I can make it harder to get you out. Let me get people in here who know what they're doing with locks.
She nods. Of course. Please, Ari.
And I wait because I just keep yelling for everybody to come.
Okay.
And I'm like just kind of staring at her, like kind of like probably kind of the look that they all gave me when they heard I was a member of the order. Like
Murderbeard. You opened the other door. You walk into a chamber in which there are a few things. There is a table with a whole bunch of instruments and vials and things. There is some kind of an awful looking operating table. And there is a large, sturdy looking cage. And inside that cage, an individual wrapped in the same bindings of like leather and chain and cloth kind of slumps against the back of the cage, not floating. Their head is exposed, but it is not yet mutilated in the way that the other creatures you encountered were. Their head is intact. They have that crystalline like thing has been affixed to their back, and you can see those tubes pumping that fluid are like already in them. But at this point, their head is uncovered and intact, though the skin is like drawn and scabbed and sunken. They kind of look like Darth Vader when his helmet comes off at the end of it's like not good, right? Like they are you think female. They have slightly pointed ears. They do have markings that look kind of like Nimue's.
Is there any sort of like reaction or like recognition when I like come in the room or come over to it? Does it have any sort of like...
Yep. They don't say anything to you, but they turn to look at you, and there's like a quizzical look through a haze of like deep anguish. But they look at you.
Do you understand me?
They don't seem to be able to muster the ability to like form a word. You can tell they try, and they eventually just nod.
Does this, like, the thing they're in seem like it's, like, locked up?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna attempt to, like, pick the lock on the...
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
That's a 15.
With the 15, it takes you a little bit of time. Eventually you get it, because it turns out to be not just one lock, it's like a series of them up the like door of this thing. It takes you some time. But eventually you like undo the locks and you manage to open the door. And as you open the door, you hear Rowan from like a different room starts to like call like, hey, like, you know, calling that she needs somebody.
Murderbeard will go back and close the door to the room he's in.
Okay.
While still being in the room.
Sure. You shut the door.
I'm going to attempt to, like, you know, move her out of the cage as
you can. Yeah, you're able to do that. She's
possible.
like too light. She does not weigh much, and you are able to kind of like draw this individual out.
Murderbeard will, I guess, like sit on the floor with
Okay.
like with them here.
Sure.
I can't imagine what's been done to you, but I can at least tell you you didn't deserve this. It wasn't your fault. And the bastard who did it got what he deserved.
They give kind of a few like they're not really able to muster words. They have a look in your eye that is pained, but you see like a spark of kind of fire still in there somewhere as you tell them that the scene is dead.
We've been through quite a lot. And I don't know if I can help you.
They kind of make a few sort of like noises and like they sort of like manage to roll their head enough that they're sort of like indicating the thing on their back.
Does it look like the tubes are could be cut with a sword or a dagger?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll attempt to slowly one by one.
Before you do anything, make me a medicine check.
Okay. It's not great. That's a 17 minus 1.
So they kind of indicate, you look at these tubes and you kind of you pull your dagger up and you sort of look, and it occurs to you as you look at this individual, you can kind of see there's a very faint sort of thrum to this crystalline structure that's suspended inside this thing affixed to their back, and it is in time with a pumping of this fluid through these tubes, and you actually time that to you can very faintly see their veins through their skin are it's a little bit of a luminous glow in time with this pulsing. So as you bring your dagger up, you are fairly certain that if you cut the tube, these tubes, it will kill this individual?
I'll wait.
Okay.
And is there like any sort of cloth or anything in the like room?
Sure. There's like one draped over the table, maybe.
Okay. I'm going to. Murderbeard will take off his coat and sort of like fold it up and put it like under her head.
Okay.
And then like drape the like cloth over her, and he'll look at her and say like, I might have someone who can communicate with you. I will be right back. I'm not leaving you.
Okay. They don't necessarily respond to that, but you gauge that they heard and understood you.
Okay. And I will.
So I think it is at this point that like we'll convene everyone here. Like Thyxes, you have looked through the room, like the main chamber. Nymue and Scylla, you guys like come back up from his personal chambers. Rowan, you've been like calling for somebody and kind of like eventually have to be like, shit, hang on. And you go back out, and Murderbeard, you come out of your room, and the group of you, like everybody's like together at this point, right?
I found a lot of money and some cool shit, but what'd you guys find?
A person that needs to be let out of a cage. Like, just a high elf lady. She's from the Ordinum. We'll get her out.
Sounds like something Murderbird could do, maybe?
Yeah, I didn't want to mess with it.
Thyxes, Captain, what did you find?
I found out that this individual has terrible handwriting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those very good artists, though. We found a drawing that looks kind of like you.
What?
I'll show you later.
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to see all the books later.
Yes, I would very much like to see that.
Captain?
Yeah. Oh, well, I found a lot of bad rooms, and Murderbeard will like go beeline to like with his lockpicks in hand to like open the other room.
What
you're
does
going
a
over
bad
here?
room mean?
You just like he leaves, right? You're just unlocking this door to this lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I closed that door on the way out.
Yep. Make a sleight of hand check.
That's 18.
Okay, so it takes you 2 seconds. Pop this lock open. This woman like rushes forward. She's, oh dear. Another one of you. Thank you so much. This, I can't imagine what a bastard would have done to me. Just please, we have to get out of here as quickly as we can.
I'll pop my head in after the captain and be like, is there any more of you? How many more was he keeping?
She like kind of comes in. She says, I do not think there is anyone else. At least not that I saw. She says after the Imperial Guard dragged me out of the Enclave. I was in the jail cell for a time, and then brought down here and put in this cage. She says I did not see anyone else, but he would come and talk to me. And she like shivers almost involuntarily. She says,
Did you hear anyone else?
She shakes her head. She says, no one.
Then what does a lot of bad rooms mean?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask what. That meant.
I found crematoriums and operating rooms.
How many?
More
Were you able
than.
to gauge how many people he's killed already?
Yeah, was I able to gauge roughly how many people?
It's. I think the answer to that is that like this dungeon, right? This sub level of this place is not new. Thysine has been here doing his like grim work for a while. So I don't know that like what you have seen here necessarily gives you like an indication of a count so much as like the fact that like he was apparently down here for however long he's been just like doing this as part of like whatever arrangement he has as one of Serengra's arcanists, like a lot probably.
Matt, you said that she just said that he. I'm sorry, I must. For some reason I kind of cut out a little bit, but she said that he would come down and talk to her.
She said the Imperial Guard basically abducted her, hauled her out of the Bookkeeper Enclave, and she was in like a jail cell for a while. And then like they brought her here, and he would like occasionally come in and talk to her. Yes.
Okay, Thyxes would probably look at her and said, What did he talk to you about?
He says, I don't know, ask me question, tell me, is it, he had a purpose in mind for me that he was going to, she like shudders again, she says, those things that he had, they float off the ground, they were horrible. He was going to turn me into one of those.
Did he inject you with anything?
She shakes her head. She says, no. Only talk to me.
So we hadn't gotten that far yet.
Did you ever hear mention... Oh, never mind.
Okay.
No, it's not anything important.
I'd just say, while, like, the rest of the party is, like, talking to her and rather distracted, Murderbeard, I assume, like, Murderbeard and Nymue are sort of, like, back over here.
Fine. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Murderbeard will, like, take Nimue's hand and, like, when she turns, like, and then, like, lead her into, like, over to this room.
Okay. I don't think there's any way to accomplish this without the others seeing you do this, but, like, you guys clearly Murderbeard is, like, leading, and this is, like, not something that he's, like, intending to broadcast, so we'll say, like, you guys move over here. I don't think there's any level of stealth check that is gonna, like, you know what I mean? But, like, certainly the two of you can, like, kind of head over here. As this, the bookkeeper here, Aora Veshta, is kind of, like, explaining a little bit to you about, like, what, you know, like, what the deal was, or, like, what things that, like, the scene asked her and stuff like that. She's, like, seems to be very, like, really keen, like, we gotta get out of here, like, she does not want to be down here. She does not want to be, like, in the Empire anymore. She's like, the Imperials arrested me. Like, I need to go. I need to contact the bookkeeper.
We don't want to be here any longer either. You need to let us finish what we came to do first. We're not done just because you're out of your cage, okay?
We killed our way
done
into
without
here.
us. That's on you, but
she doesn't seem to be, like, interested in running off on her own, right? She says, you come in here, you fight your way in here, you kill the Arcanist. She says, this will be noticed. You should do what you need to do, but do it quickly. She says, there will be guards coming. So
We're
Murderbeard
not even done yet.
Murderbeard and Nymue, you guys come back in here.
As we get to the door, like, just there, I'll, like, turn, and Murderbeard will take, like, Nimue's other hand and, like, give her hands, like, a good squeeze and, like, a look of, like, a conveying, like, prepare yourself for what's on the other side of the door, and then I'll open the door and let her. And then, if she's going in, I'll close the door behind us.
I go in, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Nymue, you walk in, and immediately you recognize. I mean, whatever has been done to this person, you recognize the markings of a Naporian looter warrior on her. They're green.
Is it someone I know?
I think it's probably hard to tell. based on their condition.
I will
She's
just
not strong enough to speak, but
Uh,
I thought you
yeah.
might be able to.
Yeah, I will rush forward and grab her face and establish a mind link.
You do that, and you're able to successfully do that, though, like the link, something like her mind is wrong.
Is her spirit still with her?
Well, is that a thing that like you feel that
I feel like
Kalashtar can tell?
I feel like between the ones that are chosen,
Okay.
I think they can.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. You establish this link, and you feel that, like, her mind, her psyche is... It's like a piece of ceramic that has been cracked, and the spider web is all through it, and it is shattered and just hasn't quite come apart yet. And there is a hollowness there. The spirit within this woman is gone.
What is your name?
It takes her a minute, as if she's like trying to recall the information from somewhere very far away. And eventually she says, Botan. Botan Akiko.
Do I recognize the family name or the first name?
I don't think she's somebody you know directly. She is quite a bit older than you. She's been like out and traveling in the world doing the Lunar Warrior thing for since like you were very, very little. I think the family name probably, like, Naporian is a small enough place that I think you recognize the family name, right? Like, so you've heard the name, you kind of know of her, though you have never like crossed paths with her, I think, before.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh boy. What do you need me to do for you, Botan-san?
She says, I was not strong enough for whatever he was trying to discover. My spirit. And you can see, like, tears begin to well in her eyes. So, like, Murderbeard, like, this interaction is taking place silently. But you see, like, tears come to the eyes of this, like, this poor individual. And Nymue, in your head, she says, I think he killed it. I think it is dead. She says, I cannot. She says, I do not know what this foul working is. And she kind of like gestures again outwardly towards that like thing on her back. She says, but it keeps me like this.
I'm sorry it took me so long to find you. But that monster is dead. I killed him.
And again, she like, again, you see like a little bit like kind of pulls together like a little, she says, good. He cannot hurt anyone else then.
Never again.
She sort of shakes her head and she says, this fluid, he would refill it. If it runs out, when it runs out, I think I will die. She sort of shakes her head and she just kind of says, in her mind, she says, I do not think that there is any option left for me.
I will help you do what you need to do, but first, I need to know if you saw others of our home.
She says, never. While I was here. She says, while my partner was still within me, never was I unblindfolded. I never saw another. And after that, I was in this chamber.
Is there any message you want me to bring home?
She is quiet for a while. Long enough that you kind of begin to question whether or not she's like kind of drifted, like she's very weak, you can tell. But eventually she answers you and she says, you gave her your name, yeah? Like she knows who you are?
I think I don't think I actually did, but I think Nymue would convey it.
Yeah. So she knows who you are.
Yeah.
She
and
says,
she can probably feel my spirit, so she's probably aware of what's going on.
She says, tell your father that his teaching kept me whole. And tell Naporia that I died some other way. She kind of shakes her head weakly in your head. She says, tell them a story that I fell in honorable battle, and not that I became this.
I will help you get some control back, and I will pull out my naginata, and I will get behind her and put the naginata in her hands.
Sure. That takes a little doing. You have to cut through a bunch of the stuff that's like wrapped her up, right?
I want to give her control back, even the last moment.
So it takes some doing. You have to physically like put her hands on this blade.
I will guide her.
And
Murderbeard will also draw his sword.
Okay.
And line it up with the naginata.
Okay.
Like cross blades.
She nods. And she says, that creature was an abomination. But he existed only as he was permitted to do by the system which allowed him free reign. And she, like, looks right at you, Nymue. And she says, make them pay. And she brings the blade forward. And she is at peace.
I'm going to take a lock of her hair.
Okay.
I don't think I can carry her body.
I'll carry. We're not there, but we'll carry.
I was gonna say,
I know, but we have to get
I'll
out of
carry your
here.
body.
I don't care.
It's so-
Scylla's huge. She's so strong. Please.
And then I go get one of the strong girls to help me then.
Okay. She's very light. She's easy to
Yeah.
to pick up.
I have negative strength, so I can't do shit.
And
I count as a large creature for my carrying capacity, baby. We're good.
Okay. Yeah.
Aora, as you guys like bring, as you bring a Kiko out, Aora like she like spits like a venomous curse in Elvish.
At Akiko?
No, just at
Elvish
like
in general.
yeah, so yeah, so like as she no like as she sees like
Sight of
what
her,
this
but
dude
not,
did,
like-
she's like,
Yeah.
you
I was about to-
fucker, like
I was about to
yeah, no.
razor smack her so hard.
She's appalled, like to her core, and she
Okay.
turns and she says, "There is no doubt that the Imperials know that something has happened here." She says, "Do any of you have an extra blade? I am
Now that I have my
not
stuff
great
back,
with it, but I will fight if I need to. We need to go. We need to
I
get
give
away from
her-
this
I have a
place."
short sword.
I was gonna say I have a short sword and a long sword aside from Shikai, so she can take her pick.
Okay, you give her. She'll take a short sword because it's easier, probably
Is
easier to
there,
use.
pen and like a quill and paper in this room?
Probably somewhere within here.
After they like take the body out, Murderbeard will go over to the desk, and with my whole 12 hit points getting stabbed a lot, probably still has an open wound somewhere. We'll dip like the quill in like the cut on his arm and
Sure.
scratch into the paper like he'll write in Dwarvish, a true warrior fell here, and then he'll try and like draw as best as he can like her the symbols that were on her body.
Sure.
And then
yeah,
once
you
he
can do that.
finishes it, the place where like she was, he'll like stab it into the floor with a dagger.
Okay, you do this, and Aora says, "It is no secret that the Ignian Empire is a filthy pit of racists and monsters that tolerate the most despicable of behavior." She says, "This," she points at the body. And she says, and she points like to the cell that she was in. "The attack on the Ordinam's neutral enclave here. These cannot stand." She says, "I do not know who you people are, but if you can get me out of the Empire, I need to spread the word of what has happened here."
I need to ask, have you heard the name Pendragon?
I was just gonna ask
She
that too.
she says, Yes. She says.
I take out while she's thinking. I take out the pin. I keep my feather hidden, but I take out the
Okay.
pin and I show it to her too, and kind of indicating like anything
That
about this.
the pin doesn't seem to mean anything to her.
Okay.
She says Thyxes is the name. It was his teacher or something. She said always when he was writing in that blasted book of his notes on. She gestures towards Nymue. I suppose your kind.
Anyone find that book?
It's the one that Thyxes has. That he
Yeah.
couldn't read.
Real quick, is there any feathers, anything that might get Rowan's attention?
You guys did not find anything
In
of that
there?
nature in here, no.
I'm out.
Not to rush anybody, but this could probably a conversation for after we're out of the Hell
Oh, yeah.
Hospital.
She
I
nods.
agree.
She
We need
says.
to get out of here.
She says.
Yeah, I just wanted to find information in case there's something here we needed, but I'm over it. Let's leave.
We need to also try and get those Goliath orc out.
Yeah, that's our next stop.
Yeah, let's get out of here first. How do we get out of here? I was blindfolded, so someone needs to lead the way.
Follow us.
Okay, so you guys are bringing the body of Akiko with you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Real quick before we do anything else, who's still really hurt?
I'm okay.
Murderbeard,
I think
Thyxes, how you doing?
Thyxes is at half.
I have 12 hit points.
Okay, you're both gonna. I'm gonna cure wounds both of them real quick. Cause I saved my spell slots for a reason. Since we're going up when I don't know what's waiting for us. So Thyxes, you get another 8 points,
Ooh, nice.
and Murderbeard, you get 9 points. I'm gonna save the rest for as we're running out of here.
So you guys
Slightly less than half.
head back the way you came, sprint up the stairs. You get to the top again, back into. I'm not gonna switch maps, so we're not gonna worry about it. Get back to that main level of Serengra. The woman, the Arcanist, the female elven woman that you like knocked unconscious and like left in the hallway, is now gone. And as you guys like run down the hallway towards the door, there are 2 elven individuals in the full like armored regalia of the Imperial Guard who are like basically like looking at the crime scene basically of the two dudes you guys shanked in the entranceway when you came in. And you see the doors to Serengra are like wide open. And you can see out to like the main like lawn in front of the place. And there's like a whole bunch of torch and lantern light and like carts and stuff as a bunch of Imperial Guard have like descended upon Serengra after you guys didn't see this as you were kind of in a rush. The first guard that you failed to kill immediately broke the silver thread that triggered the alarm spell beneath the reception desk and summoned the guard. And these 2 guards who are like looking at the bodies as you guys come charging up the stairs look up to you, draw their swords, and one of them turns and calls back, and in Elvish, for any of you that understand it, he yells, "The intruders are still here! Form a perimeter!" And they settle in to stop you. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Did I have time to don my breastplate?
Yeah, you put all your armor back on. You guys spent some time down there. That's it. That's where we end tonight.
Thank God.
Oh my
Not
God.
because I'm glad we're gonna get captured, but because I have to pee so bad.
Yeah, I couldn't. It could not wait, man. Damn. That was so
Alrighty.
intense.
Well,
Mm.
we have resolved there. That was that went some ways that I was not anticipating, but it went some ways. You guys we have rescued Nymue, have freed an Ordinum Libri field office operative agent. You have the body of a fellow Naporian who had been apparently failed whatever tests that Thyxes was performing on his victims, and thus was being turned into one of those monsters. And there are a bunch of guards between you and your escape route. So, once again, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I want to thank...
You know the scene in The Incredibles after they help those people out of the fire, and they're like, "Great, we look like the bad guys." That's this.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining. Thank everybody at home for watching with us tonight. And we will be back in 2 weeks. Next week will be the Fool's Errand, and the week after that will be the Grimm's Folly again, as we see the party make their escape, or attempt to make their escape from Sarengra, and probably from Imperial territory altogether at this point.
You're gonna burn this city to the ground.
So, thank you for joining me. We will catch you next time, and as always, our new and fun tagline: "We will." Seems super inappropriate based on the gravitas of the situation that just happened, but we will see you next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.